This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good morning. And yeah, thanks for joining. So in the last class, unfortunately, due to power issues, okay, so meeting went down. So we will continue from there. So we were discussing about the correlation rules part. So because of this correlation rule only, normally instance or alerts will be generated. Okay. So where we will identify or where we'll find out these correlation rules. So under the offenses tab, and we have correlation rule option is there. But if we add more correlation rules other than what our IBM QRadar is supporting, for that one we have to use use case manager. Okay, so we have separate licensing option is there, that is called use case manager. So for to create customized correlation rule as per MITRE attack, as per the new vulnerabilities, whatever it is coming onto the all over the worldwide. So for unknown attacks kind of thing. So, but by default, okay, so IBM QRadar is supporting some of the correlation rule. So where we can identify that one under the offenses tab, under the rules. Okay, so because of this correlation rules only, normally instance or alerts will be generated. Okay, so we have to go to the correlation rules, and here there are a lot of correlation rules are categorized under the group. Okay, so these are all the different types of correlation rules. Okay, so they categorized under the anomaly side, malware side, authentication side, botnet side, DOS or DDoS side, database level, so reconnaissance level. So these are all the different types of categories. So in the interview, as I said, if we have 4 years of experience, or if you are putting less than 4 years of experience, if they will ask like, do you know how to create correlation rule? You can say, normally I will not create correlation rule because it is I am part of L1 team. These correlation rules will be created by either vendor or L3 team. That you can answer. Whoever is putting more than 4+ years of experience, so that people you can say I'm working as L2. Okay, so I know how to create correlation rule. Okay, so in that scenario, you have to say you have to choose one correlation rule, whatever you are comfortable, whatever you are confident. Okay, so here a lot of correlation rules are there. Okay, so whatever you are comfortable and whatever you are confident, you can choose that particular correlation rule and you can explain in the interview point of view. So as I mentioned, there are multiple correlation rules are there. You can choose whatever you want. How to choose also I will explain. Okay, so but anyway, so if you want to create custom correlation rule, custom means in your organization our own. Customized means whenever other than these correlation rules, okay, I want to create our own customization correlation rule. Okay, so in that scenario what we have to do, so we have to go to the actions tab, and after that we have to create the new offense rule. We have to click on the new offense rule, and it will open one window. In this window, okay, so multiple options we have to select. Okay, so what is that multiple options? We have to click on next button, and then we have to select the, okay, so whether you want to create correlation rule for events, or events are flows or offenses. So most of the cases we will create correlation for both events or flows. Okay, so here we have to select, and then we have to click on next button. So here we have to select the building blocks. So building blocks meaning here whatever requirement you have, so that requirement we have to choose it. So if you want to create any requirement related to, so what is the source or test case you want to test it. Once that test case is successful as a building blocks, okay, so then test is successful, then we have to raise a change request and we have to put in the production environment. So this is the normal procedure for every correlation rule creation process. Okay, so first, as I said for last time, for multiple login attempts failure, so this one of the use cases. So multiple login failure attempts is related to IP addresses. So we have to click on this IP addresses, and So once you are clicking on this button, it will add this particular field of the source IP address related information. So just I clicked on when the source IP is one of the following IP addresses. Okay. So now here automatically apply this. Okay, so rule name example multiple login attempts failure. Within 5 minutes of time. So that is the example correlation rule. On events or flows, it is applicable to both, which are detected by the local or global system. Okay. So as I said, your office is there in the multiple locations. That time you have to select a global. If it is a single locations, you have to select a local. So example local. And so just now I added when the source IP is one of the following IP addresses. So this IP addresses. So, but here IP addresses, how can we define? See, IP addresses means that may be any IP address, that may be internal IP or external IP. So we have to click on this IP address and we have to define our particular range of the IP addresses of the organization, whatever we are using. So total overall data center organization level, because every organization has different types of teams. Basically, one is admin team, one is HR, legal. Okay, so networking team, Windows team, storage team, backup team. Okay, Linux team, applications team. Okay, so these are all some of the teams will be there. So those teams total overall IP address range. So here you have to enter the overall data center range or site range. Site range. So example, your office look, your entire address of your site or organization is 10.10.0.0.16. Okay, so these many IP addresses. Example 65,536, 2 power 16. So that many IP addresses are there. Then you have to add those many IP addresses and give submit button. So whenever any attack is coming, so from these IP addresses, it will generate an alert. So that is the meaning basically. So this logic only very important. So whatever logic we are creating under this correlation rule, that logic only they will expect. They will not expect which type of building blocks you are selecting and which type of category you are choosing. So what is the relevance score you are providing, or what is the annotation you are giving, what is the rule response you are doing. Okay, so but main thing is whenever if you are to create a correlation rule, main thing is for the logic is important. That logic only you have to explain. Okay, they will expect that logic only. Okay, so after that, so we define now IP addresses range. Now what we have to define, time we have to define. So time, so where you can go and you can see where is the time related option is there. Okay, you can go and you can see time related option. When the follows or events occur after this time, so after this time, so that is not basically, so you can go and you can see some any other time options are available. So when the local source host profile port age is greater than this number of times of the intervals, this one is related to port. When all of the rules, okay, so engine any order from this, okay, same or any source IP of the same destination IP over these many seconds. So maybe directly you can use this one also over these many seconds. Okay, so login failures are coming. So over these many seconds, maybe you can use that one of the option. So this is also we can use. This is also we can use. Wherever time related, so example 360 seconds. So total 5 minutes or 1 minute. So whatever you want to, according to your organization, multiple login failure attempts. The attacker normally, whenever he want to try to brute force attack, keep on he will do the permutations and combinations, and he will use a trial and error method. So keep on he will enter the passwords. So within a minute also we can put the condition. Within a minute or within a 2 minutes or within a 3 minutes, within a 5 minutes of the time. Okay. So wherever time related option is there, that option you have to select here. So example may be, okay, where at least these many events or flows are seen with the same properties in the many minutes. So Example, maybe I will choose this one. Okay, so you can see here, and when the at least these many events or flows are seen within the same properties in this many minutes. So here go and change that particular time also. Okay, how many minutes of the time you want to see? Example, 5 minutes. So give submit button here. So in 5 minutes. So now you got the total overall. Okay. So when the source IP is one of the following, okay, and when the at least these many events or flows are seen within the same properties in minutes. So even if you want to click properties and if you want to choose some other option, you can go and choose the options. Okay. So if it is a customs rules related one, you whatever you are creating, it is based on the source IP or based on destination IP or based on the event name. So these are all the different types of category. So example, source IP. So select source IP and submit. So this is the way how to create, and also if you want to create event information also. Example, more than only 4 events should be generated, only 5 events should be generated. So that means here event count we can generate. So example, 5 events is sufficient. Otherwise our licensing cost will be expensive. So example 5 I have chosen. Okay. So and when the source IP is one of the following IP address, so these many IP addresses of the locations we have provided, and when at least 5 events, five five events is sufficient, and also our events are close are seen within the same source IP. So same source IP of this range in 5 minutes of the time. Okay. So this is the way how we have to create the correlation rule. And after that, so what is the category of the you want to create that particular attempt? So whether it is anomaly related, whether it is related to reconnaissance, authentication, botnet, example botnet related. Okay. Then so next button you can click it. If something you are creating wrong, then automatically that error will appear here. Okay, so no error is coming now. That means everything is correct. Now you have to the severity, credibility, relevance. Severity, credibility, relevance you have to choose. So this is scale. So out of 10 scale. So severity, credibility, relevance side, what is the, okay, so magnitude wise. So you can see here say to 0 to maximum select set to. So first time selected severity wise. So increased by 0 to 10. So for example, multiple login failure attempts attack, I can consider as it's a medium type of category of the attack. I can put it as a 5. Okay, credibility. So credibility, nothing but integrity point of view. Okay, so traceability the point of view, whether it is internal use or external use. Severity you know already. So severity means it's a critical or a high or a medium or low based on that one. So credibility meaning here, so traceability of the user, trustworthy of the user. So integrity of the user basically, credibility meaning. So here we have to put, okay, so out of 10, so example I will put 7. And relevance. So how frequently this type of occurrence will, so multiple login failure attempts will be occurred. Authentication failure related attempts will be appeared. So relevance example, authentication failure. So keep on, it will regularly, it will come. So I will put 9 here. See, authentication failures, maybe users will forget the passwords, keep on, they will try to do the attempts. Maybe sometimes they will forget the click on the button caps lock. Sometimes they will already forget to off the caps lock, or sometimes they forget to click on the shift button and so on. So multiple ways that they can do that particular option. So this relevant size frequency is, I can put as a 9. So now rule action is this one. According to this one only magnitude is be depending on. Okay, so now 5, 6, 9 I have defined for this attempt or for this correlation rule. Whenever multiple authentication login failure attempts attack will come, so obviously it will come 5, 6, 9. Overall maybe we can say high severity on an average like a 7. Okay. 569 by 3. So on an average like a 7, it is like a high severity. So rule response now. So rule response is how that response will come back to soft tail. Okay. So first one is dispatch new event, whether it is reach new event. So don't put this one. Most of the cases it has to come as an email notification. So that means here we have to give our total overall SOC related. Okay, so email address. Otherwise, you can put dispatch new event, that is also fine. But most of the cases we will put SOC at the rate of whatever company you are working on. If it is a Wipro means Wipro.com. If it is Cognizant, Cognizant.com, with TCS, TCS.com, and so on. Whatever your basically your distributed team will be there. Distributed team means you are a part of SOC team. Total they will create one TL, total team related one of the email, or DL means distributed team related email ID or group email ID. So meaning whoever is the part of SOC, that particular team members, they will receive this particular event or incident or offense. Okay. So example TCS.com. So there are multiple options are there. So rule response is dispatch event. That is one type of option. Email is one of the option. Okay. So second to loggle to syslog. Syslog server also we can create. So this is one type of the how to receive the alerts notification. That is one of the option. Next one is sending to forwarding to new destination. That is one of the option. And add to reference set. So this is I said what is meant by reference set in IBM QRadar interview question. What is meant by a reference set in IBM QRadar? So reference set is nothing but what reference you will take whenever any incident or alert if you want to receive, that is called reference set. Whether you want to take as a domain name, whether you want to take as a source IP, whether you want to take a source port or destination name, okay, username. So those are all the multiple options. So what is meant by reference set data management? That is entire question. Okay. So there are multiple options are available. You can see here these many options are there. So according to credibility side, we can define the reference set. According to destination address wise, we can define the reference set. According to the destination IP, according to destination IPv6, IPv4, destination port, event name. What most of the cases reference set we will use as a source IP. Because whenever any attack is coming, if you want to categorize that attack is the internal attack or external attack, so based on the IP, whether private IP or public IP, you will choose, right? So source IP related. Okay, most of the cases we'll choose reference set as a source IP. Okay. So reference set meaning here, how to explain reference set in the interview if they will ask. So whatever incident you are receiving, we will go and we will create a rule response option whenever if you want to create correlation rule in IBM QRadar. And one of the option we will choose as a reference. That reference may be source IP, event name, destination IP, destination name, or destination address, event name, timestamp, credibility. So according to that one, we will choose the reference and it will generate an alert. That is called reference set. That is what you have to express. Okay. It is basically condition kind of thing. So this is entire question. What is meant by reference set in IBM QRadar? Okay. So most of the cases, as I said, we will always choose source IP. So only one of the option is more than enough. Only one of the option is enough. So here rule response. Rule response meaning here once that logic is already triggered, whenever any end user knowingly or unknowingly is clicking on the phishing email, is clicking on the malware, is clicking on some other botnets, is clicking on virus, Trojan, worm, or injection related plot types of attack. Attacker itself is trying to do exploitations. Those logs it will come to these correlation rule by default whatever IBM QRadar is supporting, or else whatever we created customized correlation rule. Okay, so whenever those logs are it is hitting, first of all event collector it will collect the logs. Okay, so event collector it will collect the logs from these types of log source. Example, consider one of the end user is trying to do clicking on the phishing email related to malware. Okay, so he doesn't have any idea about the phishing email and one of the malicious URL link or some of the attachment it has come, okay, like spear phishing or using whaling, and he clicked on that particular malware attachment. So in that scenario, log sources logs like a firewall logs it will come, email server logs it will come, or antivirus related logs it will come. Okay, or even active directory or domain control logs it will come, right? So those logs it will collect event collector and also flow collector, then it will send it to the event processor and flow processor. So backend you can see correlation rule engine will be there. So this correlation rule engine only now we are discussing. So malware related. So now here use case is we are discussing about malware type of use case example. So those logs it will go and it will hit respect to correlation rule whatever. In second. So it will hit this correlation rule of the front end of IBM QRadar, and the rule response will come back to whatever response you are choosing. So whether it is email attachment, whether it is a syslog server, even it will support SNMP traps also, but that is an option is not showing here. But most of the cases will use SNMP traps to receive the alerts. I think IBM QRadar is not supporting that option. So, but as I said, most of the cases will use email only. Okay. So under response limiter, so response limiter meaning here, so respond no more than one time. So that response only one time is more than sufficient. Okay, so per 30 minutes, if you want to reduce this one to 1 minute also fine, per role. Okay, that alert should be generated only one time. Otherwise, keep on that alerts are generating more than 5 times, then you will get the confusion. So five types you will create the tickets. If it is only one time, that is enough. One time alert is enough. Then you will go and you will check that particular alert. You will go and create the ticket in the ticketing tool. So that is the way you have to create. So respond no more than one time is fine, and for 1 minute. So whether you want to choose 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes and so on. So example 1 minute. So next button, if something you entered wrong here, so it will show as an error. So then you have to correct that particular error. Okay. So example, I did not enter anything here. So just I entered as email. Let's see if any error will come. So and also annotate event. Annotate means description of the event. Annotate means description of the event. Okay. So next button I'm clicking. See here, please enter a valid email address. I have chosen the option, but I did not enter the email. Then it is asking enter your valid email address. So now I will enter soc@cts.com example. So this is our email related to SOC team. So next button. Now it will give overall summary of the whatever we created. Overall summary of the whatever we created. First one is role description. Role description about logic whatever we created. Role actions, severity, credibility, relevance, whatever we have chosen out of 10 scale. This is nothing but magnitude. So based on the severity, credibility, relevance is depending on the magnitude. According to this one only we can prioritize the incident. So that yellow, green, orange, yellow, and also red color is coming, right? According to this severity one, this rule actions only. And rule response, so nothing but this SOC team will be received. So now we have to finish this button. So this will be appear under the authentication related. Now this is the way how we have to create the correlation rule. So this process only they will expect. This process only they will expect. Okay, so there are a lot of correlation rules are there here. So what they will ask in the interview, did you create anytime correlation rule, or do you know how to create correlation rule? So that is the interview question. Or do you know how to create the rule? Correlation rule or rule is nothing but same only. Okay. So here, as I said, whatever you are comfortable, there are a lot of more than 300 to 400 rules are there. You can choose one of the rule, whatever you are comfortable, because I will not give the rule. Why I will not give? Because if I will give that one only, you will buy head for the interview. Okay. And example, whoever I am teaching, if I am giving same rule for everyone, so two people from same my students is going for the interview. So side by side they call for the interview or they schedule the interview. So same thing they are repeating means they'll think like these people are same institute or same somewhere they are related, so they will consider as a fake. That's why whatever you like, you can choose one or two rules, and before interview, obviously how to go for this particular rule. Okay, before interview, 3 to 4 questions compulsory you have to refer and you have to go for the interview. One is related to roles and responsibilities, one is related to recently which type of incident investigation you have done, and do you know how to create correlation rule, and cyber culture process, incident lifecycle management, what is malware and different types of malware categories. Okay, then what are the different types of incident status of the tickets we have. So these are all by default some of the interviews questions. Most of the interviews they will expect this type of questions only. So before going for interview, just you can refer this correlation rule or logic and you can explain in the interview. How to explain in the interview? Okay, so for example, I will give one of the options like authentication related. Even I create one of the related authentication. You can see login failure to disable account. Login failure disable to account. So what is the meaning of this one? Login failure to disabled account. So disabled account failure attempts are coming. How it is possible practically? This one type of correlation rule. Example, one of the guys resigned from the company. One of the guys resigned from the company. But login failures are coming from that particular account. Practically whether it is possible, because once anybody is resigning in a company, once he left from the company, today is last working day from him, for him or her. So in that scenario, immediately we'll disable his account, but still we are getting the login failures. Okay, so login failures are coming. So that means we have to think this one as a suspicious activity. Maybe attacker itself is enabled that particular account and is trying to do some those okay, he is enabling and he is doing that particular account activities. So from there login failures are coming. So this is one of the suspicious activity. Okay, example, I hope you got it. So login failure to disable account. So one of the guy disabled account, so maybe he moved to another account. Okay, or he resigned the company. He resigned the company, and at the time of last working day, normally, okay, once he is resigning the company, we will disable his account. But problem here is this correlation rule is created for disabled account. From disabled account, login failures are coming. But practically that option is not possible. So attacker maybe is doing some suspicious activity, from there login failures are coming. He enabled and he is doing this suspicious activity. And second option, one more correlation rule. Login failures to expired account. Expired account means most of the cases our password policies in an organization. So for every 3 months we have to change the password. Some of the companies even they will give for every 30 days. Every 30 days we have to change our passwords related to Windows, related to our Outlook and so on. Okay, every 1 month or every quarterly once we have to change our passwords. Most of the case it is like a quarterly basis. Quarterly 90 days, every 90 days we have to change the password. But somehow the okay guy or one of the end user he did not change the password. He did not change the password because he thought like in the last day of the expiry account, 90th day, he thought to change. But by that time, okay, so that account is expired. By the time account is expired. But login failures are coming from that particular account. That is the use case basically. Okay. So if you want to go and if you want to see this particular overall rule, just click on double click and you can see overall rule. Okay, so what they have chosen, So just like double click on that particular rule. Okay, so you can see here what is the rule now. Login failure to disabled account. Login failure to disabled account. So this is one of the correlation rule. So what is the okay? So for on events which are detected by the local system. So this one they created for local to local. Okay, so logic what they provided, and so and or not. Most of the cases will use these three Boolean algebra functions. And where an event matches any of the following category definition. What is that? BB means building blocks. BB means here building blocks. You can I am repeating once again. Apply login failure to disabled account. Okay, so this one we have to apply, this rule we have to apply for login failure per disabled account. Okay, on events, so whatever events it is coming from the different types of, okay, so Windows or maybe Linux and so on. So on events which are detected by the local system or global, whatever your, as I said, if your office is there in the single location, local, multiple locations is like a global. And when an event matches, so any one of the following, okay, so event matches any one of the following category definition. What is the category definitions? Authentication to disabled account. Authentication to disabled account. So this is the building blocks they created, test case they created. Building block means test group or test case. So for this type of disabled account related events are coming, then it has to generate the event. So this is what you have to explain in the interview. Did you create anytime correlation rule? Can you please explain one of the correlation rule? In that scenario, what you have to do? So yes, I created one of the correlation rule related to login failure to disabled account. Login failure to disabled account. Okay. So once you will get to the trial version access, please go and you can choose whatever you are comfortable and you are confident. So simple one you can choose. Example, this one is one of the simple one. So this is the logic you have to provide. So this logic only they will expect. So this one you can put it in your somewhere and you can put it in your documents where you want to. Okay. So this before enter you can go and you can refer this particular, okay, so correlation rule. So example, I can create it. So this correlation rule and I want to explain in my interview. So I will put it here. So before the interview, I will go and I will refer this correlation rule along with my roles and responsibilities and also some other attacks and recent incident investigation, whatever. Okay, so I want to explain. So you have to be in such a way you have to prepare for the interviews. Okay, so then you have to say this one. So how to express? So you have to say I will log into the IBM QRad. So recently I created how to answer for this one. So recently I created correlation rule for login failure from login failure to disabled account or login failure from disabled account. So that is the correlation rule I created. So I logged into the IBM QRadar tool. I went to the offenses tab. Under that one we have rules option is there. I clicked on the rules option and after that I went to actions and then I have chosen a new offense rule. So then I clicked on the button. So whenever you want to create correlation rule, first we have to choose the test cases. So building blocks I have chosen for all the IP addresses. Okay. And the category of the building blocks is authentication to disabled account. And if you want, you can add one more condition here. One more condition also. So I can provide this one also additional condition. Example. So I can, and when the source IP is one of the following IP addresses, and I'll put range here also. This is also we can define. Okay. So total overall IP addresses of your organization. That is also we can define. Combinations. Different combinations also we can define. Not only just whatever by default it is okay providing by IBM QRadar. You can do some customization. Why can't you be innovative? Okay. So you can define that particular IP address also. Then you can provide this condition. So I have chosen when the source IP is one of the following IP addresses, then I have defined my total organizations of the IP address of the range of the data center. And additionally, I have chosen one more building blocks category as authentication to disabled account. And after that, I put that one category of the authentication because this is authentication related. You are choosing, okay, so correlation is related to malware, then you have to choose as a malware account. If you are choosing flooding types of attack, then you have to choose as a DOS attack. If you are choosing uh, anything exploitation related, reconnaissance we have to choose. Anything related to application layer attacks, then in that scenario we have to choose as a so OWSP top 10 or anything related to application layer attacks. So these are all the different types of categories. Anything related to so sensitive data exposure, that time you have to choose as a data exfiltration. So these are all the different types. So whatever you are creating the rule, according to that one, we have to choose this option. So I have chosen and I have put those logic under the category of the correlation rule, and then I have to click on that particular next button. Okay. So then I provided, because it is asking now, there are parameters with the at least stock which are not been specified. So that means somewhere some mistake is there in this correlation rule. So then I will go and I will select this particular rule and I will choose the IP address range. So only 1026 is okay. Give me one second. Only 1026 is in 1026. Where is 102? Okay. So add and remove, both the options are available. So because I entered, okay, one, I forgot one number. So that's why it is showing as invalid data. So now I have defined this one also. So now you can try. So still if you are getting error, that means somewhere you are doing mistakes. So now it is showing fine, right? So that means there you have to choose the IP addresses of your organization. So before that, I did not choose any of the IP addresses, but I have chosen the building blocks. So that's why it is showing as error. Now you can define the severity, credibility, and relevance. Whatever you want to treat this one as. So example, as I said, this is a login failure attempt. I will treat as a very high severity because for one of the organization who have left the company from that particular account, so these correlation rule or login failures are coming. So then I will put this one credibility as a 8 and the relevance I'll put 10 out of 10. So then in that scenario, it's a critical severity. Okay. So then you can put that particular, so whatever role you want, role responsibility has to come. So you can choose that one. So this is total entire process you have to explain. And finally, I will click on finish button. Finally, I click on finish button. Okay. So now you can go and you can see whatever I have added additional thing, it is there or not. So just now I added this one also. So authentication is disabled to account, and also I have done some customization. So according to that one, I added when the source IP is one of the following related to my organization. Okay. So by default it is provided something, but I have done some customization. So according to my own requirement from my organization level, then I have provided this option. So mainly this logic only they will expect for the interview. This logic only they will expect. So yeah, I just said there are more than 200 to 300 or 400 use cases are there. You can choose whatever you like, whatever you like. Example, this one we discussed. You can choose this one, or this one is if you want, you can choose this one. Okay. So multiple login failures from the same source user. Okay. So this, if you want, you can choose this one. Windows on events. Okay. So one of the correlation rules you can, these are all authentication related attempts. Authentication related attempts. Multiple login failures per the single user. So this one I created this one. This one I created previously. Okay. So this is the one. Login successful after scan attempt. Okay. So these are all the different types of account. Authentication related. If in the similar way, you can go for DOS or DDoS related. DOS or DDoS related. So DDoS attack detected. So DDoS attack is detected. So this is the use case. This is the use case, not use case, logic. So apply DDoS attack detected on events which are detected by the local system. And when any of these BB category, building blocks category definition, DDoS attack events with the same QID. QID means QRadar ID number. QID means QRadar ID number more than 3 times. across exactly one destination IP within 5 minutes of the time. Okay, so meaning what? So normally DOS or DDoS attack, how it will come? Whenever any attacker is sending the flooding of the data to targeted machine, that may be end user system or server. So using sync flood or TCP flood or UDP flood or ICMP flood, so he will compromise the system. Because of that reason, legalized or authorized people will lose the service. That is called DOS or DDoS attack. DOS means single attacker will try to attack a single targeted machine or single end user machine or single server, that is DOS. Or DDoS means here, so multiple attackers will try to attempt single targeted machine. Okay, so here combination of both this one. So QID means QRadar ID number. It is one type of signatures, one type of signature basically. So they created some by default some of the QID numbers, some of the QRadar numbers, QID numbers. It's like 1234. It is a TCP flood. Okay, so 2345, that is UDP flood. 3456, that is one of the ICMP flood. So 4567, that is related to ARP flood. So 5678, that is related to MAC flood. In such a way, they created some signature in the database of the QRadar. So that is called QID. That means here, when are creating this correlation rule, we have to choose those QRadar ID numbers also. QRadar ID numbers also. How to choose that one? We have one document is there. So we have to go on, we have to search that particular document. So if you are going for QRadar administrator guide, so QID numbers options will be there. Those options we have to select. Okay, QRadar ID number. So that is in the administrator guide will be there. From that particular administrator guide, we have to choose these QID numbers. 2000 series, 3000 series, 4000 series, 5000 series, 6000 series, 7000 series. So these are all different types of QID numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also in such a way. Okay. And across exactly one destination IP within 5 minutes. 5 minutes of time, too much of flooding of the traffic is coming from one destination IP. Destination IP meaning here, so from the attacker is trying, okay, so trying to do some attacks to the destination IP. Okay, so for that particular, so in this similar way there are other 5 to 6 types. Okay, they provide DDoS. In this similar way you can go and you can see related to database related. So database they didn't create anything. Why can't you go and create related to SQL injection attack? SQL injection attack. But you should know the Postgres SQL database related or SQL database or MySQL database or any other database whatever you are using, that IP address. Then you can go and create. Okay. So then you can go on, let's see compliances related. So compliances related are there. So under that one they provided here. So database attempted configurations modifications. Okay. So here somebody is trying to do modifying the database. Modifying the database. So database concurrent logins from multiple. Okay. So login locations, multiple locations. Okay. Concurrent logins. So here whatever database servers are there, concurrent logins are coming from multiple locations from the same source user. So example, it is coming from the Mumbai location, it is coming from the Chennai location, it is coming from the Bangalore location, it is coming from Hyderabad location, and so on. So this is one of the use cases. Okay, so these are all the different types of, okay, so compliances related. In the similar way, malware types of correlation rules. So malware types of malware or virus clean fade. This is one of the use case or correlation rule. Treat spyware and virus as offense. This is one of the use case or correlation rule. Treat non-spyware malware as offenses. That is one of the use case. Treat keyloggers as offenses. So nothing but whenever attacker is installing the keylogger software on the end user machines on the servers, and he is monitoring your machines, whatever keys you are entering. So keylogger software means whatever keys you are entering on that particular keyboard of your laptop or desktop, okay, using keyboard or keypad. So those keys it will capture. That is called keylogger software. And spyware, you know already. For spyware, it is a malicious software program code. It will, okay, so unintentionally or unknowingly, whenever end user is downloading, so secretly it will monitor everything, whatever you are doing. So that's called spyware. Okay, so backdoor Trojan. So this illegal software and it will bypass the authentication. So all these are different types of malware types of category. And malware or virus clean failed. So one of the end user system always or viruses got failed. So these are the different types of use cases for related to malware. Okay, you can see apply this malware or virus clean failed on event. So this is the use case, malware or virus clean failed. It is failed basically. So that means it is got compromised one of the end user system. So that is related to malware or virus. So and when the event QID is one of the following, and so under after that this is logical expression, and when the event QID QRAD or ID is one of the following, so these many QIDs are there. So how they have chosen this one? So we have to choose from the database. So admin tab will be there. Under that admin tab we have QID numbers will be there. So those ID numbers we have to choose, otherwise we have administrator guide will be there. So we have to go to the administrator guide and we have to enter that particular guide, that particular number. So example, this is 23750019. That is suspicious related. And 23750004, that is bad related signature. Okay. And 23750024, that is also bad related signature. And 23750002, reactions failed. And in such a way, they have created multiple QIDs for malware got infected. So this is contain lot of information. You can see one more thing is 252501550 file infected, clean error, encrypted file, quarantine file. So which type of attack is this one? Encrypted file under the malware category. What is the attack? This one, file infected, and a clean error. Error is cleaned. Encrypted file. What is the error? What is the attack? What is the attack? Encrypted files.
Ransomware.
Yes, ransomware. Yes, it is a ransomware type of category. So under this malware, even they put it as a QID number as a ransomware attack also. So these many signatures by default it is supporting. So they selected total overall category of the QID numbers. So but if you want to explain this one in the interview, little bit difficult, because you cannot remember all these. First of all, you cannot remember all these. That's why you can go for easy one. Example, previously we have seen multiple login failure attempts, or disabled accounts login failures are coming, or expiry account login failures are coming, DOS or DDoS related, or database login failure attempts are coming. So those are the correlation rules. One or two you can just remember that particular logic, and you can explain in the interview. Even if I will go for the interview, so but anyway I will not go for normally SOC related operations interview, but if I will go for the interview, obviously I will explain that one only. Okay, and also I will give some more one more introduction of the tool that is called Exabeam. It is like Splunk only. I already provided architecture of the Exabeam. Whatever material I am preparing, so total I created 5 correlation rules in the PDF document. I will share maybe within 1 week of the time. Still I am doing some modifications. So you can explain that particular correlation rule also, that is fine. So here what, whenever you are explaining this one, so this one, so you have to remember couple of things. So what is that? First one is you have to remember logic. So on the which tool you are explaining, whether you are explaining the QRadar tool itself, or whether you are explaining Exabeam or some other tool. Right now we are discussing about QRadar. Obviously, you have to say the QRadar. Next, maybe we'll discuss about exabeam also. Exabeam related also you can explain. Okay, so that correlation rule. So once you completed the correlation rule, you have to test it, right? So you created the logic, but how to test this correlation rule is working or not? For this correlation rule, example, this correlation rule, this one, you created malware or virus clean paid. You created. So you want to test this one. How to test this one? Anyone? Or otherwise you created, okay, multiple login failure attempts in the database, or multiple login failures for expiry account, or multiple login failures related to same source user or the Windows events. How can you test this use case? Anyone? So I will ask database related. Okay, multiple login failures are coming from database events related. So that is related to PostgreSQL database or MySQL database. How can you test that use case, whether it is working or not? Anyone? How can you test this one? My question is, how can you test database login failure attempts? Okay, alert is generating or not? That means that rule is working or not once you created the logic. Because you created, that doesn't mean that it will work, right? You have to test it before you are implementing in the production environment. Whatever you are doing, everything a testing environment. Okay, so once that is successfully completed, that correlation rule creation, you have to test that one. Testing you have to do basically. Security testing you have to do, and that is successful, then only you will go and you will write the change request, change management window you have to take, and you have to implement in the production environment. Okay, so how can you test
Attack
that
on
use
your
case?
own system.
Will
Sorry.
you try with multiple
Let
login attempts, wrong password?
Excellent, that's correct answer. Whatever Dharma said, that's correct answer. Wantedly you have to do the login failures. You have to go to the data, whatever I said in this case, database level. So you have to go to the MySQL or Postgres, whatever correlation rule we created. Wantedly you have to enter the wrong password. Wantedly you have to enter correct username for the database, but you have to enter the wrong password. Login failures meaning here what? So you are entering the wrong passwords. That's why login failure is coming. So wantedly you have to test the wrong failure related one. So nothing but wrong password you have to enter. In that scenario, login failure will become login failure backend. It will be generated the event. So anyway, obviously we will integrate database related logs also to the SIEM tool. What is the log integration method to integrate the database related logs? What is the log integration method? Database logs integrating to SIEM tool. What is the method?
Syslog.
Syslog? No.
Net flow.
No. Syslog we can do, but problem is every database is not supporting syslog. Remember that. Every database like a MongoDB or SQL database or MySQL database or Couchbase, Oracle times 10 or Oracle 11G. So these databases will not, every database will not support 11G. Sorry, every database will not support syslog. Some of the vendors they will support. Okay, so syslog maybe is one of the option, but main option is server. Database is a server.
Collector
What is log?
agent.
Yes, collector
Collector
agent
agent.
method we have to do, right? Collector agent we have to install. So agent we have to install. Using that agent, these logs will go to the event collector, then event collector, event processor. Event processor, we have CR engine will be there. Using that CR engine, already we created this correlation rule, and those logs database, okay, already you enter wrong password. These logs or events will go to that particular correlation rule, whatever you created for database login failures. So then it will generate an alert. You have to see whether alert will be generated or not. If something alert is not generated, means somewhere it is wrong, whatever logic you created. You have to troubleshoot that one. So this is the way how you have to test it. So once that is successful, everything is successful, and alert also you are receiving, then what we have to do? We have to write change request window. So all these things we have to do in the testing environment. We have to ask the vendor, so can you provide one month trial license? All these things you are doing the testing environment. Testing environment meaning here, whatever tool you are using, you should not implement everything in the same tool. You have to ask the vendor 1 month trial licensing you provide, because already we purchased QRadar tool or Exabeam tool or Splunk tool. Then they will provide 1 month trial license. In the trial license, you have to test it. Once the trial related testing environment is successful, so you want to implement in the production environment, you have to write the change request. Okay, change management request window you have to raise, and then you have to implement one of the weekend, so that may be Saturday or Sunday or maybe night time. So once taking the cab approval from the cab director and also your SOC manager, then you have to implement that particular correlation rule in the respective tool. This much backend process is there. This much backend process is there. Still they will asking the interview, do you know how to create correlation rule in simple one sentence? Okay, so you have to explain all this process in the interview, remember. So compulsory interview question, even you have 2 years of experience, you are putting 3 years of experience, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 and so on. So this is one of the very testable interview question. Do you know how to create correlation rule? But in practically, once you are joining a company, you will not create that. They also know, but still they will ask in the interview, because most of the people, they will fail to answer this question in the interview. Okay, so as I said, please go and you can choose whatever you want, authentication related, anomaly related, or anything related to DOS or a database or compliances related, one or two use cases. And as I said, you can go and you can refer the example. This one I want to explain in the interview. So before going to the interview, just you can refer this one and go on whatever process I explained just now. You have to explain the entire process in the interview. This one itself, it will take minimum 5 minutes explanation. Okay, so this is the way how to explain the correlation rule creation. You know why I took this for one hour class only for this one? Because this very important topic. So this one, and also correlation rule recently which type of incident investigation you have done. So these are all very famous interview questions, even though you are putting 3 and 4. But as I said, so 3 plus, whoever is putting less than 4 years of experience people, you can say I'm working as L1 analyst. Okay, so I don't have option to create so correlation rule, but I know how to create. Correlation rule. So normally we'll go to the offenses tab, we will go to the rules tab. So we'll go to the access tab, we'll choose the no offense rule, and then we'll choose the correlation rule for both events and flows. Then we have to choose the building blocks, then we have to choose the logic behind the particular correlation rule. Then I have to choose the category of the respect to whatever logic I am creating, category of the instant. Then I have to go to the rule actions. Then I will choose the relevance, credibility, severity out of 10 scale according to the instant of the instant category. Then finally I will choose rule response as an email, and finally I will complete I will review the particular correlation rule and I will finish. And after that I will test wantedly whether that rule is working or not by generating some of the logs or events. And once this is successfully alert is generating, then I will change request window, and I will take the cab approval from the cab director and also my SOC manager. And after that I will go and I will implement in the production environment of the SIEM tool. This is the way how to explain in the interview. Okay, so as I said, you can choose whatever you want to like it. And also on the PDF document, what are material I'm preparing, so total 5 to 6 some of the correlation rules are there. So then we can go and you can explain that one also, anything is fine. So this is overall correlation rules creation part. So as I said, this is compulsory, most of the interviews they will ask. So the next one is log activity tab. This one we can discuss in the today evening class. Most probably I will take today evening also. So how to write the queries here? So this is called search queries options. From here only we have to see the what are the log sources logs are coming. So here only this is called filtering will do, querying part will do. So as I said, it is completely user friendly. So QRadar is user friendly. When I was discussing about theoretical part of QRadar, theoretical part of QRadar, as I said, if you are going for Splunk or Exabeam or any other tool, you have to remember that core is basically. But when you're coming to this particular IBM QRadar, McAfee, and RSA logarithm, there is no need to remember any queries. Everything is a filter out option only. Quick filter out, you have to select here, and you have to choose the advanced search or normal quick filter. Then you have to select that particular IP address here. So everything is address based here. So just example IP address. You have to select in such a way, then you have to choose the respective query. So also otherwise you have to write a query in such a way. You have to give right click here. So filter event by name or information message or quick filter. So there are multiple options are there. So all these are why we have to come to log activity tab first of all. Why we have to come to log activity tab or when we have to come to log activity tab? Anyone? When we have to come to log activity tab?
Filtering or querying purpose.
Yeah, filtering or querying purpose, but when we have to come? See, under the offenses itself, you are getting lot of information. So if you are going here and we are going for all offenses tab, so you have example, this is the attempt is there. So I'm clicking here, every information you are gathering here. Then why you have to come to log activity tab?
Real-time monitoring.
Not only real-time monitoring. For example, you want to get the full-fledged information and also you want to attach the evidence as a logs. You have to export from log activity tab. So that particular IP you have to select here. You have to filter out and you have to export the logs. You have to export the logs and you have to export the logs and you have to attach those logs in the so SIEM tool, ticketing tool. That evidence purpose we have to come to log activity tab. So here only we'll do querying part and filtering part. And also you have network activity tab is there. Actually right now this is demo tool. They did not integrate traffic related flow data. That's why we are not able to see the network activity tab. But in practical, where you are going and that network, if they are integrated traffic flow data like a net flow or S flow or J flow, you can see network activity tab also. Okay, so why we have to come to here to check and to get the more information, or you want to export the logs as evidence to attach in the ticketing tool. So for these two reasons, normally you have to come and you have to export the logs, and also you have to see whether all the log sources logs are coming or not. So example, you can see log source Linux is coming, and also health metrics are coming. Okay, so whether firewall logs are coming, proxy server logs are coming, or load balancer logs are coming, router switches logs are coming. So those things also you have to validate here only. All the logs sources logs are coming or not. That report also we have to generate. That is called log resource report, log source report, or health metrics related report we have to generate. So health metric means all those uh, health of the log sources are correctly there or not, that information, and all the log sources logs what are we integrated, those log sources logs are reflecting or not. For these different types of scenarios we have to come and we have to validate it here. Okay, and also as I said, our main focus is additionally to want to see whether really what is the payload information, whether what is the log source information, to get more details about the incident. More details about the incident, we have to come here and we have to do the search or filtering purpose, we will come here. Okay, so this we can discuss in the evening class. So we have to click right click here, and you have to see filter is based on different options. Okay, so these are all the multiple options we have to choose whatever you want. For example, firewall related log source attempt is coming on the offenses tab. Then you have to go and you have to click related to firewall related log source. Then you have to choose the IP address also, because under the offenses tab IP address will come. That IP address also we have to choose. So then you have to click here, and IP address also we have to choose. So there are multiple ways we can choose this particular So filter is based on IP address. So attack is coming from this particular IP address. You want to choose only this filter. So this only it will appear. See, you can see only now only 10 related. So it is keep on, it will come. So you have to stop that particular button. Okay. So this demo tool, but anyway. So yeah. So this is the way how you have to filter out. So please go and you can search these options and how to filter, how to query, and so on. You have to do. So right click and you have to do the filter based on. If you are going and if you are clicking on the event name related, right click you have to give. If you are going for log sources wise, it will come log sources wise related, it will come. If it is coming for source IP related, it will come here logs IP address related. Okay. So this is the way how you have to do the filter. So automatically it will appear here. You don't need to do anything. When I'm doing filtering here, did I enter any IP address here? But it is appearing here. That is what I said. There is no need to write any queries in the IBM query radar. But if I want to go for Exabeam and Splunk related tools, you have to write the queries. Okay, that is also copy paste only. We have Confluence document will be there. That Confluence's document related some of the queries will be there. Those queries we have to copy paste and we have to see. Anyway, we can discuss this one in the evening. Okay, so any queries? Hope
Before
everybody is
change
very.
request, we need to generate the building block.
Yes, correct. Before the change request, first of all, you have to complete the row.
Complete the, like
Yeah, total
we have to
complete.
create the rule.
Yes, we have to
Create the rule,
create the row.
generate
Yes,
the building block and test it. After that, we need to create the
change request. Yes,
queries about that.
yes, correct.
Okay, fine.
Any other? Okay, guys. Actually, I have to log in. One meeting is there for me. Okay, so I have to log in. So we'll continue evening. Okay, I'll let you know by 5 o'clock whether I will take the class or not. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.